Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Wednesday drawing session with me. There's my trusty Pentel mechanical pencil with 0.7 HB millimeter lead and my kneaded eraser. And here's my favorite paper to draw on, Strathmore Bristolboard 300 series with vellum surface. Now, today I'm going to do something different. Normally, I would draw superheroes because that's my background. I write and draw superheroes for a living. But some of you guys asked me to do something a little different, kind of think outside the box. And they asked, actually, several of you guys requested video game characters. So I decided to go ahead and you know, go out of my comfort zone and do a video game character. So today I decided to draw Lady Dimitrescu. Dimitrescu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil Village. I think this is a video game that came out, I think in 2021. And from the very popular Resident Evil video game series. So Lady Dimitrescu is apparently a 9 foot tall vampire. So I've played like the earlier Resident Evil games, and it's basically a shoot 'em up game. And this one I have no idea how and why she became this 9 foot tall vampire. so so I actually looked her up a bit, and she actually has a very interesting background story. So she was a from a noble blood. And I guess she basically was infected by the Kado Kado parasite, which kind of like mutated her into this thing. So she had this blood disease, and then the Kado blood parasite is supposed to cure her, and but it basically turned into a vampire because if she doesn't drink human blood on a regular basis, she would basically deteriorate and become this monster. So with that in mind, I guess the parasite, whatever the experiment that she underwent, caused her to regenerate and mutate to a certain degree, and that's why she is so large. And I'm all about drawing large women. That seemed to be my calling card. For most of my career. And she was like a great fit. So, I basically started off to kind of emphasize how tall she is. So I decided to draw her in a very straight, upright position. And one of her powers is, besides being almost unkillable, her hand basically morphed into this giant claws, almost like Freddy Krueger. She got this like giant clawed hand, which she slices people. So the great thing about her is she is a very robust Rubenesque woman, which I'm very apparently good at. And so that's the emphasis that I wanted to do. That's what I want to emphasize on her physique. And just kind of give her this she's basically like She-Hulk. She's kind of like a wide shoulder, like great big bosom, and narrow waist with wide childbirthing hips. My kind of woman. So with that in mind, I decided to just run with it. And her whole style is like 1940s, 1930s, no, more like 1940s style, with that big wide brim hat and this white, I guess like a dinner dress, and she's always smoking a cigarette with a very long, elegant cigarette holder. So there I am. I decided I thought her hips weren't wide enough, so I decided to give her this really thick Bryce Howard hips, with the big big backyard. And So yeah, that's the thing that you really have to emphasize when you draw her. Because every photos of the every screen capture images of Lady Dimitrescu is she's like really a well built woman. Very powerfully built woman with like you know wide hips. So and I wanted to make sure that and she wears this long flowing dress, so I just want to make sure, despite the long flowing dress, I want to make sure that you can see how wide her hips are. So there I am. I'm actually kind of posing, trying to figure out the hand gesture where her long claw hand is coming from. So yeah, she has this kind of like a Freddy Krueger, kind of hand. It's kind of like Mark Silvestri's what was that, Rip Claw character. So I'm giving her huge tracts of land, and the wide brimmed hat. Yeah, it's definitely in the 1940s style. She has this wide brim hat. Kind of reminded me of Rachel Ward in Dead Man Don't Wear Plaid. If you guys ever get a chance to see that movie starring Steve Martin, that is a absolutely fantastic and one of the most funniest movie I've ever seen. And Rachel Ward plays the love interest of Steve Martin. Steve Martin is a detective, 1940s detective, and Rachel Ward is the love interest, and she's just absolutely a knockout. She just the costume designer just nailed that 1940s period with the wide brim hat, and the shoulder pads and the really really tight skirts and stuff like that. So that's what Lady Dimitrescu style is. It's just pure 1940s. And the thing, as I was drawing her, that her dress, I realized, I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I get the feeling that her dress is made from curtains. So since she's so large, she's like 9, 10 foot tall. Her dress is made out of this white curtain material. So in the front of her is basically like it's curtain. They straight up she just kind of like you know stitched sleeves into a curtain, and just made it into a dress. So if you actually really study the character, that's what I think it is. I think the character's dress is essentially used to be like a curtain, like long white elegant curtain, that she turned it into a dress. Kind of reminds me of Scarlet from Gone with the Wind, when she was when the Civil War completely devastated her fortunes, and she wanted to impress people, so she made her green dress out of these green curtains. Um, Actually, there's a funny sequence that Carol Burnett show did, where Carol Burnett was doing a parody of Gone with the Wind, and she comes out wearing this green dress, which is completely made out of curtain with the curtain rod still in the dress and all that, which was actually hilarious. Man, I guess I'm dating myself by throwing all these reference. Probably like most of you guys don't know. So anyway, so I really love the 1930s, 1940s era. I've always loved that whole film noir kind of stuff and the detectives stuff. And so Lady Dimitrescu kind of fit perfectly in my wheelhouse. So yeah, she just make sure give her this wide brim black hat. She looks almost like something straight out of a Will Eisner's Spirit character, cast of character. Yeah, make sure when her she has when she's wearing that hat is kind of like slanted sideways. Kind of give her that kind of that oomph, that style, kind of the rakish style. So here's the funny part. Apparently, Lady Dimitrescu was based on a like a Polish actress and model, and I forgot her name. But I actually looked her up, and yeah, they did a great job of basically capturing her. And she's actually a really beautiful woman. She actually kind of looked like Lucy Lawless from Xena. So yeah, I'm just kind of like just working on the hat. I mean, whoever designed her is actually did a really good job of designing her. I mean, it's just so simple and classy. It has that black hat and the white dress. It has a very distinct, iconic look. So that's a big thing. That's a big thing that I tell people. If you're gonna design a character, keep it simple and keep it very iconic. Don't go crazy and adding all these little details and rivets and all that stuff. When I create characters, when I design characters, I try to give them a very simple, simple design, simple like very easy to understand design, or easy to very distinguish from other people, other characters. So yeah, she's basically a big giant black hat with a white dress. I mean, if you just kind of like boil it down to that, I mean, people will right away recognize that's Lady Dimitrescu. So she wears this like this since she's from a noble family, so I guess she wears this like diamond necklace with a big pendant at the end. And then she has this open chest. The dress kind of opens up uh, on her chest, kind of giving her this very to show off her cleavage. She has a very ample bosom to show off that cleavage, kind of like Power Girl. She is, and I guess in a lot of ways she is kind of built like Power Girl, or the way I draw her anyway. Now I know a lot of you guys gonna ask me, do I play video games? The answer is no. I'm like one of the few Asian people who's really bad at video games. I mean, I am absolutely terrible at video games. So I never, you know, I don't play video games because, like every time I play video game, I get my butt kicked by some 11-year-old. And so after a while, it's just like, you just kind of stop playing. Although there are a few video games I do play by myself because I don't like to play with other people because like every time I play with my friends, they just completely just destroy me. The video game that I really liked was Gears of War. So Gears of War I really enjoyed. I played like I think I played the first three version Gears of Game 1, 2, and 3. But I really loved Gears of War 1. That was my game for a long time. I actually bought I just bought, I bought an Xbox just to play that game. That's because buddy had it, and then I played with him, and and he kind of like put it on the easy mode, so I actually enjoyed it, and he basically showed me how to play it, and so I enjoyed it so much I actually went out and got an Xbox and just to play that game. So I really love Gears of War. And another game that I really like, again, here I am, I'm gonna date myself, is Doom, the first Doom. I guess this is back in the early '90s, and me and my buddy Eric, we used to work at a sign place. Oh, so I'm drawing the three roses. So the three roses on her on her chest that represent the three daughters that she has. So she has Bella, Danielle, and Cassandra. So those are the three daughters, and those three daughters are I think vampires also, like some sort of a mutated uh, vampire that is made of flies. So they basically it's kind of creepy. So anyway, so I love Doom. That was the first big video game that I absolutely just got addicted to. So this is back in the '90s. So me and my buddy Eric, we worked at a signing place. We made these signs for these vinyl signs, and uh, and and so we would often work late into the night, just kind of like make sure that the machines would cut the vinyl signs, for our customers for the next day pickup and all that. So, so after we get our work done, we would use the store computer, because the store computer was a pretty powerful computer at for that time, and we would load up Doom and play it, and that was like one of the most fun game I've ever played. And me and my buddy Eric, we used to just play it for like, I remember we played it like all summer, and until we cleared it, and that was like one of the best memories I have of my youth. So I'm drawing the dress, and here's the curtain part that I was telling you about. If you really look at it, it does look like a curtain. So you see the curtain being cinched around the waist, and the long curtain drape, it just kind of falls down. Yeah, once I have the underlying drawing, just to kind of make sure that the dress falls correctly on the figure, I will ultimately erase the legs and stuff like that. So here's a quick tip about drawing draperies. People ask me, like, how do you draw draperies? I actually got a lot of statues. I have like a big giant art books on statues and stuff like that. So I would look at statues, how how they drape the figures, in the statue. But a lot of times I can't find that right fold, in the statue, or how the right shape of the drapery. So oftentimes when I get stuck, I would grab a towel and I would kind of drape it on a chair in my studio, and then use that as reference. So I actually done that a lot. So here I'm not using any reference, because this is just a very easy drape. It's just like a long cloth that is just kind of like resting at the feet. So, and so the folds of her dress kind of radiates out from her waist. So with that in mind, you kind of like want to follow that, and make sure that the folds, the drapery, kind of like is radiating out from that choke point. That there I erase the leg, because at this point I know how the the her dress will kind of fall on her legs. So at that point, I really didn't need the underlying leg drawing to kind of guide me, because at that point I pretty much you know they've done their job, and so I just erase it. So drawing draperies, more draperies. I really enjoy drawing her. She's actually a really fun character to draw. Maybe I should play this video game. I mean, I've seen some clips of the video game on YouTube, and it looked like a very dark, violent game. So, if those who don't haven't played this game, she's basically the boss, at the end of the game, and she kind of like morph into this giant, almost like a dragon at the end. I guess spoilers. So, which makes sense because she is a vampire. Her whole thing, her whole lot of her history is kind of like a nod to Dracula. So Dracula means dragon. So it makes sense that she kind of turns into a dragon at the end. And also her three daughter kind of represent is inspired by Dracula's bride. So Dracula had three brides, and her three daughters, Bella, Daniela, Cassandra. They kind of represent the three bride of Dracula, essentially. So drawing that gloved hand where she's holding her cigarette. Yeah, normally I would be like flipping the paper around, rotating the paper around. But since this is a drawing demo with the video camera kind of attached to my desk, I have to like tape everything down so it doesn't move. There's that wispy smoke. Yeah, it has. It really does have a lot of film noir kind of sequence. There I am trying to like visualize how the hand is, how the hand is, how the finger is kind of is in position. Give her that big Freddy Krueger hand. Yeah, so they really didn't show me how long her finger blade should be. So I just kind of like guesstimated. I just drew it until it looked right. Okay, here's the funny part. I was gonna draw her three daughters in the background while I was videotaping this, and my iPhone, that I'm actually using an iPhone to videotape all of this. It started beeping, saying that I'm down to 10% power, and which is completely my fault. I didn't charge my phone up before I started this, and I realized halfway through this drawing that I'm at like the I'm at like 10% power. So I really had to rush and finish this, and so I didn't get to draw her Lady Dimitrescu, Dimitrescu, daughters in the background, her three daughters in the background. So so if you see it later on, I'm gonna go ahead and draw the three daughters in. But for in this video, I didn't have time because my phone was literally dying. I mean, I think at this point, I just got flashed that it's down to like 5% power or something like that. And of course, as soon as, when that notice popped up saying that I'm at 10% power, I couldn't find my cord to recharge it. And that always happens, when you need something, it's never around. Yeah, so I'm having a blast drawing her. So all the viewers who recommended or requested a video game character, especially Lady Dimitrescu, thanks for the suggestion. I actually had a blast. So here I am just putting the final touches before my phone completely dies. Yes, I'm just erasing the stray marks. So there she is, Lady Dimitrescu from Resident Evil. And I had a blast drawing this. So thank you everyone for watching.